Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trusted Podcast. We have another great episode for you today. I've got Dr. Kelly Henry on the call, and we're going to be talking about customer service. So, Dr. Kelly, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Blake. I really appreciate the opportunity.
All right. Start off giving us, a brief overview of yourself and what led to you becoming this expert in the field of customer service.
You bet. I'm a retired chiropractor. I practiced for 20-ish years, 20 years, a little more than 20 years. Anyways, built up two very successful practices on the foundation of customer service. And when I sold my practices out in 2018 and wanted to move into the coaching and consulting realm, I knew that I wanted to coach other businesses on customer service because that was such a big piece of my success, really the foundation of my success for my clinics. And I just wanted, I know the impact of it. I know the importance of it. I know the phenomenal benefits of it. And I just want other business owners to reap those benefits. And so that's why I'm doing what I am doing today.
Okay, great. Well, let's start with the two or three biggest mistakes that you see business owners make with regards to customer service.
The biggest one I see is they already think they have or provide great customer service. If you talk to 100 business owners, every one of them is going to say, yeah, we provide great service. And the truth is, and the statistics show, that is just not the case. Now, every business does have pieces of great customer service. So they do this good and they do this good. But those two things don't encompass great customer service or providing great customer service as a whole. And so a lot of times it's almost a delusion for business owners that they think because this and this is good that we give good customer service. So that's not even on their radar to provide better service or to look where they may be losing customers because of service deficits and the issues they're having. And obviously all that leads to is loss of customers. And when you're losing customers, you're losing clients, you're losing patients, you're losing profits. So that's something that is a huge mistake. And I see that all the time talking with clients and prospective clients. The second issue is they don't necessarily make customer service a foundation principle to build a business on. Whether they're a new business or even established business, sometimes they'll look at customer service as a flavor of the month or a new shiny object. Let's do this action and this action, and that'll up our customer service. That'll make it look like we're providing better customer service. But if you don't really lay the foundation of it, it's just not going to be as effective as it would be otherwise. So those are the two. Not necessarily, what the perception that the business owner provides great customer service is number one. What I just mentioned a second ago about them not making it a foundation principle, that's up there too. But those are two very common mistakes that business owners make in regard to their level of customer service and really not providing a higher level or as high a level as they should be.
Okay. Well, then let's talk about some of the fixes. What are some things that business owners can do to help stuff they can implement on their own?
Well, one of the biggest pieces is they have to make sure it's a foundation principle, like I just mentioned. But another huge piece is to make sure they are treating their employees as good, if not better, than their actual customers. And that's where a lot of businesses miss the boat. And to be honest with you, I missed the boat on that for a while when I was in practice. You can't treat your employees not necessarily badly, but not as good as you should be, and then expect them to turn around and give great service. So from an employer standpoint, you need to be fostering a team atmosphere, praising your team, incentivizing the team, making them feel valued, And when they feel valued, they in turn, the employees in turn, can make the customers feel valued. So that is a huge piece. For me, it was simply just changing my mindset of not thinking of my employees as a liability and start thinking of them as an asset, looking for the good they're doing and the things they're doing right, which they were doing way more right than they were doing wrong, processing that, praising them for it, reiterating that, and it just was a complete game changer in my clinics when I changed my attitude. So that's a big piece of it.
Yeah, I'd say I think it's hard to be happy and show, treat people well if you're not being treated well yourself. You know, a lot of how you feel, if you're not happy to come to work, you're not going to show that when you're at work.
Absolutely, it's very difficult. So you can fake it, but customers and clients, patients will know that when it's not genuine.
Yep. All right, give me one more fix that an owner can do.
Well, I wish there was just the silver spoon or just the one golden nugget. There's several things that are simple actions, and that's my whole coaching and consulting is let's implement the simple actions to create major results. The key is being consistent. So, a couple of simple actions that employers can implement immediately is have your employees put a smile on their face. Make a smile be part of the uniform for your employees. And a smile is the universal welcome. It immediately puts people at ease. It reiterates that, hey, this business wants me here. They're excited that I'm coming to do business with them. And the whole key for customer service is to make the customers feel valuable, important, special. So a smile goes a long way in doing that. Another key component.
Does that still hold true even with everybody wearing masks? Does the smile? I mean, I think it does resonate in the eyes.
It does.
Would you agree with that?
It does, and that's a great point because it does resonate in the eyes. And the same thing holds true when you're communicating on the phone. I used to put mirrors in front of my phones in my offices, so my employees were answering the phone. They could see if they were smiling because the person on the other end of the phone can feel a smile coming through by the tone and the expression coming through the phone. So yes, you can see it in the eyes when somebody's wearing a mask. You can hear it in a voice when somebody's on the other end of the phone. So it does make a big impression. Another simple thing to do is just keep the mindset of being friendly. And the issue here is, again, if you ask 100 business owners, are your employees, is your business friendly? Oh yeah, we're friendly. But the problem is they think friendly means, we said hello to the customer and asked them, if I could help you. Friend to me and what I teach and what I coach my clients on is to be aggressively or overly friendly. That means as soon as a customer walks in, you are greeting them, you're enthusiastic, you got a smile on your face, and you are saying, "Hey, I want to help you. We're glad you're here. We're here to help you. You're not here to, you know, it's we're here for the customer, not the customer's here for us." That mentality, and then not only being friendly initially and overly friendly as the initial impression, but you also need to be overly friendly on the back end of an interaction when a customer is leaving a business for that final impression. And that's something that a lot of businesses miss. You can go to a restaurant and have a great meal and everything's great, and then when you leave, nobody says goodbye. The hostess ignores you on the way out. It doesn't necessarily destroy the experience, but it just leaves it hanging a little bit. And if you don't leave that good first impression or the last impression, you know, that's the impression more than likely the customer is going to take with them. So if you leave it on a positive note, hey, have a great day, we appreciate you, take care, we'll see you next time, whatever the case may be, that's what they're going to remember and take with them. So those are some simple actions that a business owner can, takes virtually no money to train and no time to really train on it either, that can drive up the perception that a customer would have, and that's actually what you need to do is drive up the perception that the customer has of the level of service you provide in the business.
Okay. Well, talk to me difference between customer acquisition versus customer retention and why you feel like retention is the one where the focus should be.
That's a great question, and that trips up a lot of businesses. Now, customer acquisition is important. In fact, the purpose of any business, and this is in simplified terms, is to get a customer, to keep a customer, and to make a profit. So that's what you want to do. So many businesses get into the mindset of just getting customers and putting all their chips in that bag, so to speak, in that box, looking at that, trying to drive in new customers, and they don't do enough with the customer service. They don't do enough to regain those customers, keep those customers coming back, and they just are in this vicious cycle of trying to gain more customers, losing them, and trying to grow a business. And it's just very, very difficult to do that. So yes, you need to get new customers, but the important thing, again, like you mentioned, is to retain those customers. That's what will exponentially grow a business. That's what will exponentially grow profits in a business, to retain those customers. And you do that by providing phenomenal service. My programs, I call them the 5% bump program. And the 5% bump is based on a study done by Harvard Business School. And they studied businesses, and they found out if you just increase customer retention by a measly 5%, just 5%, you can increase profits by 25 to 95%. So who doesn't want that in their business?
Right.
So my whole goal is to let's improve customer service to just bump up that retention. And when you bump up the retention, you're keeping more customers. When you keep more customers, they're referring more customers. And so when you get those two going, yeah, you're making more profits. Well, as your customers become your marketing pieces, they're the mouthpiece for your business, and they're driving a new business and new customer acquisition. Well, you can take that money that you were driving and putting into all your marketing and save some of it. And so that goes to your bottom line as well. So that's how you can really create this incredible, again, growth, but also just incredible profits by focusing on the retention of the customers as opposed to the acquisition.
Yeah, and I think just to put it a different way, it's the cost of acquisition for a client the first time is very expensive, and so
Exactly.
you've already outlaid that cost. Why would you not put that little bit of effort? And I think that's why that 5% increase in retention has such a big impact down the road, is because you're not having to spend all that extra cash to acquire that client. You already have them, so why not retain them, and the return is much better on that end. Is that
Absolutely.
or a different way of saying it?
Exactly. And the statistic on that is it's 5 to 25 times more expensive to acquire new customers than to just keep them in your business. So.
Perfect. Well, good. I'm glad you have the statistics on that. Okay, let's talk about how should somebody go about finding a business coach such as yourself? What are some of the key things they should look for? Any red flags they should be aware of when they're looking for a coach, especially to help them with their customer service?
Well, I always wanted to, and I've been coached for years, 17, 18 years, still being coached today. One thing I always looked for was somebody who had the experience, or who'd gone before me, or who had done it before me. There's a lot of coaches out in the digital realm now, and we all know that. So you want to find somebody that's been there and done that, and that's what that's what gives me the confidence in what I do with my clients. Is I've been there, I've done that. I've made a ton of mistakes, and I did some things right, and I continue to study and learn and grow and know the ins and outs of customer service, obviously. So that way they can draw on my experience. It's one thing to have done it, have experience, and continue to learn, as opposed to somebody that has not necessarily done it. They've read about it, they've studied it, and that's important too. But it gives it a whole different credibility when you've lived it and experienced yourself. from a coaching standpoint. So that's probably my biggest concern when somebody's looking for a coach. Make sure they're credible, they've been there, done that, so they can really give you that upper level of coaching from, like I said, for me, of here's what to do, but also you can draw off here's what not to do and why not to do it. It's much easier and a whole lot less expensive to learn from somebody else's mistakes. That's something I tell my clients all the time. Learn from my mistakes. I'm going to save you a whole lot of time and money in that regard. So
Yeah,
that would be
and
my key
frustration.
and frustration. Exactly. That's right up there too. But that's a key component for hiring a coach.
Okay. So that's the questions I had today. Are there anything we missed as far as customer service that you think is vitally important to our listeners?
Well, there's a couple of principles, and I mentioned them or one of them just briefly, but I just want to throw this out there too. The two principles that I always try to portray to my clients and then my prospective clients is you have to remember that customer perception is everything in customer service. So again, that goes back to every business thinks they have great customer service because they do this and this, and that's the owners, that's the business perception. But if you were to survey and ask the customers, more than likely, and the vast majority of the time, they have a different perception. That's what's valuable. That's what's important. That's what you have to get in touch with. The second principle is customer perception is driven by how you make the customers feel. And so the whole key of customer service is to make the customer feel important, feel valuable, feel special, feel like a rock star each and every time they are in the business with an employee, on the phone, whatever touch point, it doesn't matter. Each interaction has to be on point, making that customer feel valuable. And if you'll keep those two principles in mind, then you can put a lot of the actions in place, and that again just lays some of the foundation that you can grow a business off and really see the benefits of improved customer service.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I think there's been some great wisdom shared today. How can our listeners get in touch with you if they want to reach out and learn more about your services?
Absolutely. My website is drkellyhenry.com. Please go there. I have you can book a call with me, just a 10-minute analysis call where we can talk about your business and if we could be a good fit to work with one another. And I always will leave you with some kind of value, whether if we're a good fit or not. You can find me on LinkedIn, on Dr. Kelly Henry, Facebook, Dr. Kelly Henry. I'm also on YouTube and Dr. Kelly Henry there as well. So pretty easy to find Dr. Kelly Henry. If you remember that, you can probably find me in all the different platforms. I do have a new book coming out called Define and Deliver Exceptional Customer Service, and that's going to launch on January the 11th. So be looking for that. You can find that on Amazon. The links will be on my website as well. Very simple strategies, the principles that I just spoke of, plus a whole lot more. Again, my philosophy in coaching and consulting is let's do the simple things, let's do them consistently, and let's reap the major benefits because due to that. And that's what the book is all about.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, look forward to seeing that book. And thank you again for joining us on the show today. I really appreciate all the time and wisdom you shared.
Thank you, Blake. I really appreciate the opportunity.
All right, and to our listeners, as always, please like and subscribe. Let us know how we're doing, and then reach out. Let us know who we should have on the show next. We make sure we keep the content relevant. And with that, we'll talk to you next time.